So, yeah, first of all, thank you very much for being here, and for the one I know already and the new ones I don't know. So the kind of experience I want to lead you to is called, so I call that a guided meditation, but the truth is more what we call a transmission of presence. So the challenge for each and one of us here is to be as connected as we can with our breath. And me as well, to stay open-eyed and connected with my breath, and to receive from my higher self, or for the life itself, whatever words will flow through my conscious mind. So this is something I explained as well a bit before. It's like I've been experimenting with channeling. When I enter deep meditation and I can receive some communications from entities I work with, and I just realized that there is another experience we can go through, which is this transmission, which is different from channeling, because in channeling you put your conscious mind aside and you enter a certain trance in order for entities to speak through you. In what I try to do right here, right now, it's what I'm practicing, and I want to practice more and more. That's why I record myself. That's why I'm so glad you're here to be this, giving me this exchange of energy. Like I just try to speak for life itself. So there is no specific entities I'm calling upon. There is just this light, which is life, coming through me. So I do have an idea of stuff that I want to share with you, and I don't really know how it will unfold. So it's an experiment, and it's a discovery as much for me as it is for you, because I'm listening as well. And I have only one intent, is to be as open as I can be in this body, to share with you an energy of healing. So I'm just try to be as pure as possible in order to give for you an energy that you can do whatever you want with that, to enhance your life, to heal your life, to give you abundance, anything. So the whole idea is to stay connected with your body and to feel whatever you can feel. So my performer's name, I call myself Heart Shiner, because when I'm very deep connected and I open my heart, I understood that opening your heart is not a hippie saying. It's a real physical sensation which goes out from your body. And I call upon this openness and this light for me to open my heart wide open in order to channel this force and to exchange. So of course it's easier when you enter a trance, it's easier when you take drugs, it's easier when you dance, but it's another challenge when I'm here with my eyes open. And I try as well to open my throat chakra and to talk with you and deliver this message. And what I want to talk tonight is the meaning of art. Because I want to share for the first time, I'm recording here for the first time, I want to share what has been the start of my magical journey, what shattered my world forever when I was 11 years old. So as an information, I've been raised in a Christian cult, the Jehovah's Witness. So it's fundamentalist reading of the Bible. So you interpret the Bible very literally. And because I was a child, I was very sensitive to a lot of things, and I was a believer because I didn't know anything else. So every night, you could be sure I was praying to God, to Jesus, and I was expecting an answer that I never got. That was my only experience of magic, religion. When I was 11 years old, I've been hosted by a friend who is a native from the tropical island I come from. So I come from New Caledonia. And in this place, witchcraft is very prominent. Like you got the natives, they are very afraid of the sorcerers who perform very dark arts over there. But me, I felt protected by God, and I didn't even think about that. I was fucking 11 years old. I just wanted to have fun with my friends, and that's it. Stay connected with your breath, because what I'm going to share might be a little bit disturbing, because I'm going to call upon that force that I experienced. But just to be sure, you're going to be safe. We're safe. We're in a loving energy right now. So what I did, I was always been a drawer. I love to draw and illustrate things when I was a kid. And I had this weird idea out of nowhere to call upon everybody in the tribe and say, what are you the most afraid of? I'm just curious, I want to know. And someone say, I'm afraid of spiders, I'm afraid of snakes, I'm afraid of whatever. And all those different fears I put in a single drawing, because I thought it would be fun and interesting, and because it's kind of an art challenge to draw something that I'm not used to draw. And at the end of the day, I was super happy of my drawing, and I folded it away, and I completely forget about it. That's it. Innocent. And when I went at night for sleep, I went into my bed, and out of nowhere, I felt a heaviness on my chest. And I felt a cold running down my spine. And when I opened my eyes in the darkness of the room, there was a humanoid shape, darker than the darkness, standing in front of me and moving very slowly and coming at me. And I felt a sense of terror as I never ever felt before. And I know that this entity is present with us right now as I'm speaking, because I feel the shivering on my shoulders and on my body. And that's okay. I've been fucking afraid. I was so afraid that I thought it was in my head. And I say, it's in my head, it's in my head, it's in my head. Close my eyes, and I realize that I can't move. I'm in a state of sleep paralysis. And I muster all the forces of my willpower to turn on my left and to turn my back to this moving predator shape coming at me. And when I managed to do so, and I opened my eyes again, because I was just in front of a mirror, and I saw the shape was over me. And I prayed all the name of God that I knew at that time. And God did not reply. And I've been able to scream out loud, and my friend came out, turned on the light, asked me what's happening. I explained to him, and then he got the intuition to take my drawing and to burn it away. So you can understand, for an 11 years old guy, a little boy that believes in God and I'm protected, everything is fine, being face to face with such an entity was kind of a traumatizing experience. But at the same time, it was the kickstart of my journey. I was like, what happened there? Did someone cast a spell on me? Did I create that entity with this drawing? Did I call upon an entity that existed before through this drawing? Was the entity wanted to destroy me? I had so many ideas, and that's why I kickstarted my journey, and since then I've been practicing magic, whether I knew it or not, and I left my religion and I explored everything. And this entity came to me recently, 1 week ago, really? Again. But that time I wasn't as terrified as I used to be. I was at first, and then I realized.
During your sleep?
During my sleep. So the reason why I want to share that with you is because I think I finally gathered the pieces of the puzzle, and I finally understood that that entity never wanted to hurt me. I still don't really know exactly 100%. But I think that entity wanted to show me something. And that entity wanted to show me the power of art and how art and magic are related. Stay on your breath. So the stuff we're the most afraid of sometimes are just here to teach us something. Because I've been practicing communication with entities, whether they're light or dark, ugly or beautiful, angelic or demonics. Everything can serve you if you choose so. And this is one of my realization when the gods one day told me that you can imagine if you want to save, you have a bee coming in your place and you want to save the bee and put the bee away, and you're like the most terrifying entity for a little bee, and you have all the highest intention. You want to save that bee from dying in your place and move that away. But from your own perspective, when you have an higher dimensional being that want to teach you something and you're not ready, and you've been conditioned with the Christian paradigm, of course your subconscious mind will interpret it as something evil and terrifying. But at the end, once again, everything can serve you if you want. So I've been practicing with this idea nowadays that every experience I have right here, right now, is teaching me something. It's not always obvious, but it's a trick of the mind. I say, I don't have the experience I have right now. I may not like it, but it's for my own best interest, because I'm going to learn something from that. It's leading me to my highest evolution. So this state of connection with reality through the breath, through each moment, to saying, this is for my best evolution, this is for my best evolution, something we have to remind each other all the time, all the time, all the time. And so the idea of art, I love to play with the words, and this is something I learned obviously from Matt Kahn, who is another artist I take inspiration from. Because for me, magic is just art. It's like the more you want magic to be real, and the more you want it to be serious, the more it will escape you. Because the part of yourself which is able to do magic is a little kid inside of you. So the more you want it to be extremely serious, it will evade you. And that's why the idea, it's very important for me to repeat all the time that everything I say here, everything we do all together should be playful and shouldn't be believed at all. I will never ask you to believe anything I say. It's like my experience is mine. This encounter I have with the spirits and the entities, this is mine. If you don't have those experiences, it's fine. This is your experience. And when I invite you to do magic with me, I ask you not to believe me, because to believe is to be in a state of conditioning. When you believe, you start to defend something. And I just want to have fun. I just want to explore. And so there is this idea that art can be decoded. So if we take the letter A.R.T, it's like a code. And the code is active reaffirmation of truth. So you could say anything else, of course, with art, but this is what came to me when I say what could art means, and life told me could mean active reaffirmation of truth. And this is exactly what I did when I was drawing these condensed fears of everybody. I took the truth of everyone and I channeled that in a single drawing. And because I channeled the truth of fear, this is the vibration of fear that have been reinforced and reaffirmed and came to me. And what could happen if we do the same with other vibrations? What would happen if we do the same with abundance, love, happiness, joy, youthfulness? And this is why I understand now, this is why we've been doing those collaborative drawing all together since those last month. It was to reach this stage right here, right now, when I'm telling you this is magic that we do every time. And if you want, we could do it with an intent now. And this is exactly what I'm doing here right now. This is just a game. I'm just trying to connect with my intuition and to let flow some words. And this is just a form of art. It's not serious at all, but it's reaffirmation of truth. So anytime I decide and I say I'm speaking an energy of healing and abundance and love, anytime I declare it, it's make it more true. So anybody can do it all the time. You can take an act. Any action in your life can be a ritual by itself. Any action can be a prayer. Any action can be an affirmation of truth, of the truth you want to live by. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's the kind of game I want to play and I want to explore. It's like doing this kind of transmission and meditation is one thing, is one art form, one game. We can play with dancing, we can play with drawing on a mirror, we can play with doing so many things, and I will always be open to any ideas you want to share with us, with me, in this sanctuary to create and reaffirm the truth you want to live by. Because the real magic, as one of my mentors said once, is when we gather. Because we are all of those stories we live by, all those magic. And only when we gather and we find a way to create all together, to reaffirm actively some truth all together, we'll make it even stronger. And then we go back to our daily lives and we became enriched by what we went through. And we help to shine even more this color of magic in the greatness of life. And so that's why I'm always for this expression. Might feel a bit aggressive to some sometimes.
Oh man.
But like we've been repressed as kids most often. That was my experience anyway. Because after that, I realized that I had memories even before that, 11 years old, when I had trees that were my friends, spirits that were my friends, initiators, and I forgot about it because I've been conditioned. So all I'm doing right here is to try to channel an energy of healing, of reintegration, of remembrance. So each and one of us can once again reawaken as the God and Goddess we are already. So I'm so thankful for having you here to play as divinity incarnated, to play with that magic. And so art, it's important as well to understand that art is an active reaffirmation of truth, but art created is very strong, but art consumed is as strong as well. So it's kind of important if you want to live your life in a certain frequencies. It's also important to know what you're gonna feed your soul with. If I keep myself watching the news, if I keep myself listening to depressive news and stuff, of course my soul will get tainted with that. So being a consumer is a choice as well. So that's the reason why I put all those drawings everywhere in my place, because they communicate with me all the times again. And it becomes art when you enter into a drawing and you receive from it and say, this is an active reaffirmation of truth. And you can do magic on top of that, because magic is a code as well. M-A-G-I-C, it's a code. Magic stands for my ability to generate immediate confirmation. Confirmation. My ability to generate immediate confirmation. Because when you do a magic spell, magic ritual, ceremony, anything can be as simple as snapping your finger or creating a full blown out rituals. At the end, there is it is done. And it is done is the confirmation. So you take as much time as you want to decorate a communication with truth, a truth that you reaffirm actively. So art and magic work hand in hands. But it becomes for you to choose. And this is where confidence is the key of the magician. And this is what I try to share with you. Is like, I'm learning to become more confident in my magic, but it's going to be a never-ending journey. And it's so amazing when you meet other people that went through their own journey as well, and they come with their own confidence, and we share that. And we are not waiting for other people to confirm that our magic is real. We do that by ourselves. Because anytime you want confirmation from someone else, that becomes religion, that becomes dogma, that becomes belief. Because no one but yourself can say, I choose that this action means this. I choose that this sign means this. So anytime you come at someone and say, what do you think does that dreams mean? What do you think that that event or synchronicity means? Anytime you do that, you release your power to someone else. And you're way too powerful to do that, my friends. And it's a human tendency to ask for someone else to confirm stuff because we've been conditioned not to trust ourselves. So it's great to have doubt and questions. It's amazing. And it's good. But when we enter the realm of magic, you have to be confident. And you have to be okay with the idea of failing, of not being true, I would say. It's like, I have an intuition, I'm going to work on that intuition, and it doesn't deliver the result I expected. So it's like, then you say no. On top of that, you can have another confirmation to say, I did exactly what I had to do in order to be where I have to become. And that is where the more streamlined magic you can do is to have this communication I was talking about of being here and now with the experience and with your breath. So that's it. I wanted to share that story, and I wanted to say, don't be afraid on anything. I could have choose a story where that entity that came at me was a predator that wanted to destroy my soul or whatever. And because I was raised as a Christian in a Christian cult, it was easy for me to think that that was a demon, a devil demon that wanted to corrupt me. But it's just another story. So my story now is that that was an entity that wanted to teach me something. And I'm so grateful, I'm so glad for that entity to have came at me. And I welcome any entity that want to communicate with me, whether they're incarnated in a human body or not. Because there's no difference from a human being and a disincarnated entity. Because life is not a Disney movie. It's like some experience can be painful and ugly and give you that sense of revulsion, and they may be the most beautiful and truthful initiator. And sometimes they can just open you to compassion. It's like sometimes the people who are the most in need of caring and love, they're the one that will give you this sense of rejection. It's very human, it's absolutely normal. So if you ever meet, either in real life or in your imagination, an entity that is scary, maybe think that that entity is more scared of you than you are of it. You can spin the story around and reaffirm that you're in power and you choose to do whatever you want with that. So my invitation now would be to do the drawings as we do as always, but this time with an intention. Because this is the magic of human beings. We are so in our own universes that when we do that communication in between each of us and we gather with a single lens-focused intention, we can open gateways in our imagination that might spill out in the material world. So I'm inviting you to, we're gonna draw all together, and my intention will be to explore what is this back and forth with imagination and art and magic on that topic. So can we explore through drawings symbols of power and abundance and imagination and fantasy and playfulness? And maybe next time we're gonna explore another frequency and another one and another one, and we're gonna be enriched during our dreams. You know what I mean? Cool. Thank you very much. I'm going to stop the recording. And we're gonna. If you have any questions, any
For you to
comments.
stop recording
Yeah.
so I can talk normal.
Cool. I
don't
will.
want to
I
be on
will.
the YouTube
Let's
channel.
do
I'm
it.
ruining
Let's do it.